Okay, back again. Guide's taking a little longer. Some things have changed. I say guide. The processing's taking a little longer. I'm not entirely sure why. Obviously, some things have changed here. Um, I had a shorter video, but I was just like AFK for it. Probably started the game, had to get up and change something. So here are some of the changes that I've been working with. Like I said, at one point, I draw. Excuse me. Excuse me. Herald of Frost and Ash is stick with Thunder. Um, I keep clarity. I now have Blood and Sand, right? Or is it Flesh and Stone? I have the one that gives me the aura for more defense. I believe it's Blood and Sand. Um, but if not, then it's Flesh and Stone. I'm just blanking on the name right now. Um, I kept Orb of Lightning. I have Orb of Storms. I have Divine Ire of, I believe it's Holy Lightning. I have Frost Blink, Shield Charge, and that's the setup. I'd say I'm close to mapping around this point. I have almost 3k health and almost 900 energy shield. My gear obviously still needs a change. God bless me, sorry. Hold on. My gear obviously still needs to be changed to match the energy shield setup. As you've seen in the last like 2 to 3 videos, I show bits and pieces of my skill tree, well, passive tree, and overall, this is just how the build's running. Even though I do have more health and energy shield, as you can see, my health drops pretty quick as well. I don't have a good chunk of defenses, and this is a little farther than Act 5. I believe this is like probably 7 or 8 maybe, if not closer to 10. And so um, everything just hurts a little bit more. So I don't have any like block chance of anything. No spell, block spell, or attack block, or suppress spell damage. Not really, at least. So everybody's hurting. And in terms of resistances, I think all my resistances are 75. But if they're not, then I probably have one that's like 60-ish, 50-ish. Which I think at the time was cold, but I could be wrong. So yeah, that's the build through campaign. And then I found some stuff later on in this clip that I planned on showing, so I cut them up. All right, skipping ahead. As you see, you have Herald of Thunder. I have Phase. Is it Phase Run? I believe it is. I don't remember what that thing beside Herald of Thunder is. You see at the top left? Somebody, sorry, somebody knows. It could be automation. There's no telling. As you can see, there's a change of gear. That chest piece, I believe, was supposed to be the biggest one. The weapon like triples your damage, but in turns of tripling your damage, it lowers your resistances. The amulet's supposed to help, I think, with damage and like keeping your life up. And then a ring helps with your damage, but you take damage for every X amount that you do. You're supposed to double rings. It took some trial and error. I didn't have the necessary gear and stuff to keep myself from dying because I was taking too much lightning damage when I started doing double rings. But I believe this might still be story, and if that is the case, then I guess I made the change during story. In which case, I still have more like items to get, but I just wanted an overall feel of what the build would be, and this felt pretty nice. One downside is because of the damage I take from the ring, it could end up killing me if there were a lot of enemies around. Essentially, the idea is, from my understanding, is for every enemy that you have around you, you'll basically take damage per attack. So the idea is that your attacks do a ton of damage. That way you're not having to constantly tick down attacks back to back to back. And you're not even really fighting. your Herald of Thunder is doing everything. So it's kind of like a lazy build. There were some things that I ended up needing to make this work, but this bare minimal swap to like campaign was pretty decent for the most part. And I'm sure in the next video I'll explain more. Unless it's later on in this one. Let me see. All right, that editing is probably going to come out funky. As you saw little bits of the skill tree there, it might, show again. Everything's just kind of all over the place. I'm still figuring stuff out, changing stuff, and trying to figure out how it is I want to go about doing it. Overall, I was enjoying the build, but there were definitely some changes that need to be made, and I was in such a rush to get to the build that I wanted to jump out of the leveling phase. So I was trying to finish campaign as soon as possible so I could take advantage of the build as early as possible. But this is what I got so far. In that gym that's leaving that giant ring on my map, my tree. I have no idea what that skill is. I'm blanking on it. Whatever build you could probably find with a Herald Autobomber is 9 times out of 10, whatever that skill is right there. Or that gym is right there. But as you can see, I've been continuously changing things. My shield's higher. I think my life lowered a little bit in terms of it all. Kept the same flash. Now, my skills have changed to phase run, or is it phase rush? Phase something with Frost Blink. And I'm just figuring it all out from here. All right, see you next video.